Happy Sunday to you all. I hope you are all having a great weekend. Here's what we are watching this week. So, getting things started, I'm going to be breaking down, first off, NQ, then going to be into a little bit into the Russell, and then we'll go into a few individual names. Well, this daily chart, and everyone was freaking out during this 2-bar pullback here after the Fed shifted. If you zoom out from this weekly chart, this is right here is nothing more than a potential higher low. Now, you could also make the claim that this puts in the lower high and then we trade lower, and I will cover both sides of this thesis here for the upcoming week. And what I see here is, let's go here and then let's say right here, so if we triggered a 3-bar play, what do we know about a 3-bar play? It would have to come down here, trigger below this low, and then trade lower. So for me, the level that I'm using for the line in the sand for shorts this week is this 21,535.25 area. That is going to put us on watch for puts then down into this 21,147 and down into these lower regions down here. Now, what about the thesis for a potential higher low? Because that can easily make the claim here too as well that this is just a pullback in this series of trend that continues and comes up here and takes out these highs. That's also very valid. So what I'm watching here for that scenario is a green bullish bar that looks something like this, where we do not come and break below these lows. In fact, we end up holding and getting back over 21992, then targeting 22,450. So that setup is very much the case that we could play out as well. So we have shorts below 21,535 and then longs above 21,992. That is going to set the scenario here from the weekly chart. And from the daily chart, really, could this be the potential higher low, which would trigger over here, and then we could get a bullish run up into this 22,450 area. So either this is trying to set the potential higher low, or this is that lower high, which would be confirmed back below here with that room down into here to take out this pivot and potentially come back down into this structure down here. So keeping that area on watch, either this is the potential higher low or the lower high, where if we get some selling strength here on Monday, we can make that move into 21,147. However, if we can hold, then longs 21,992 up into these highs up here. What's interesting is if we go into the Russell, this never ended up making that push to new highs, and now we're coming back, but where are we coming back to is the big question. Back into the support. You can see how strong of a support this was before, even back in here. So if you can connect these two, there is a lot of support. So this was a resistance here, turns support in here, in here, in here, in here before a big move, and now we've retested that for that move higher. So what I'm watching here is this potential higher low on RTY that came down, pulled back, but it's just setting a higher low, that over 22,995, targeting this 23,7510 area, which is roughly 80 points. So if we can get that move in any trending strength, I think we have room to rally quite strong here this week up into that 23,7510 area, with again this 22,4560, this pullback being the potential higher low. Now, let's say we get some weakness here on Monday below 22,4560, watching puts down into that 21,7720 region. For a few individual plays, and this one I've been mentioning, that it looks like what we're trying to do on AMD here is flip the trend. So we're coming down here, and this could be nothing more than a bear trap where we break below this pivot, fail to break down, and now all of a sudden we're rallying higher. So anybody who is shorting this pivot could now get trapped, and then we could rally. And what do we know about downtrends is we could still rally in a downtrend. The last pivot is around a 175, and this is a $125 stock. So you could rally $50 in this downtrend to just come and test this pivot, and we could still maintain this downtrend structure. To me, this looks on the weekly chart that it's trying to make the move higher, failed to break down, and now we're trying to rally and set the bar for that next uptrend leg here on this. From the daily chart here as well, we get these two consolidation bars, we come back, and we're trying to put in this potential higher low here. So if we get back over 125.94. I like longs up into this 131.57 and 132.75 area, with ultimately a potential up into this 140 psych region above. So if this potential higher low holds, triggers over 125.94 on Monday, looking for a rally into this downtrend up into that 140 area. The next one is going to be Meta. I really liked the weekly chart on this, where we're trying to come back. We're putting in this inside bar here, very similar to what NQ is doing. But if we can trigger over 607.74, there's not much for resistance up until 625 and into 630. So $23 move. And anytime we have that potential, it definitely has me on watch. So going into the daily, this is nothing more than a potential higher low that actually closed near its high on Friday. Well, NQ was very, very weak. So over 601.40, that clears 607.74. There's clear skies up into these two targets up here, and that is going to be my main watch if we can get back over 601.40 and mainly over 607.74 this week. And then Tesla. So we put in the potential lower high here, where we come up, we had this inside bar or 3-bar play potential, and then we just gapped down and sold off. But we're still above this pivot right here. So if we can get back over this candle's high and trigger something that like this, looking for that move into that 480.25 area, which on the weekly, this could be nothing more than that failed sell below this candle. And then we trigger a weekly bar that looks something like this. So 439.21, any strength here on this week, I do think we could see 480.25 and come take out those prior all-time highs here this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this watch list video. Let us know down below what you are watching. Thank you.